What happened on October 7th is there an occupied people that went out.
It was massacred. Did you agree with that?
I don't have to say whether I agree or don't with what the occupied people do.
If you're expressing different opinion, keep a safe distance from each other.
I am, but they're aggressive and they come up and they hit me with their flags. I'm a middle-aged woman with a child.
If your flags are touching you, it's because you're too close.
Answer the question. I didn't touch you, I touched your phone.
Do not touch
I touched your phone.
Why?
Why?
Do not touch me.
Leave. I can get the police to get you out, you know that, right?
Yeah, get the
But I
police.
wouldn't do that because it's more fun to just sit here and bug you. And you can sit here all you want. I will stay here. Your phone is glittery, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You like sparkly things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you. A little sparkle. Little sparkle.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, don't walk away from my face and stop moving.
And whoever is standing beside the occupier, regardless his religion, either it is Muslim or Christian, West or Arab, he is our enemy too and has to be disclosed.
Alexa Lavoie for Rebel News, and I'm currently in Montreal. And as you know, it's been more than 15 months that we are seeing apology for terrorism taking our street, protesting for Palestine, where clearly it's anti-Israel sentiment that is being displayed in our streets. We are seeing businesses being vandalized, death threats, Molotov cocktail being thrown at synagogue. And today I wanted to speak with Natasha Graham. She is a freelancer. She's an investigative journalist, and she worked for many media. She has been on the street many times to report on what is going on, and she have a different point of view. And I wanted, first of all, to hear from you. Why did you choose to report on this topic?
I guess my interest in Canadian politics dates back to being a teenager, but I studied political science in university, and I became particularly interested in the Islamist infiltration into our country because I went to school with foreign students who I could see were infiltrating into our institutions. So when I went to Concordia, which I usually call Concaida, there were students like Laith Marouf, who became infamous as a Jew hater, who was giving, DEI courses to the government with the liberals. Yves Engler went to university when I went there.
Mr. Guilbeault, your government's enabling a genocide in Gaza.
And as I got to learn more about the conflict in the Middle East, I was interested in going to see Benjamin Netanyahu speak. He was coming to Concordia, and there was a riot at that time. And I became much more invested because initially I was more neutral. I'm a Christian, and I felt I didn't really have a dog in the fight at the time. But based on the anti-woman, the anti-Christian, the anti-Jewish sentiment of these radicals, it really solidified my being a supporter of Israel and very opposed to the Islamists invading Canada and taking over our institutions. So that's when I became interested. And then more specifically with the pro-Hamas protests, I kind of accidentally, I would say, entered into the fray. I went to 2-1 in August, stood out like a sore thumb, which I didn't anticipate at the time. It was primarily Arabic people. I'm fair, so there was a contrast. And I got some unique footage of Iyad Abu Hamid calling for religious war on all of us.
The conflict is not a conflict. It's not two sides conflict. There is an occupier and there is occupied people. And the occupied people has the right to resist. And the occupier has no right to resist. And whoever is standing beside the occupier, regardless his religion, either it is Muslim or Christian, West or Arab, he is our enemy too and has to be disclosed.
It was very distressing to know that foreign infiltrators are on our streets, running across tables, setting off smoke bombs, calling to kill Jews, to kill anybody who disagrees with them, so-called Zionists, which really are just people that think that the state of Israel has the right to exist. We are in an unofficial war with these people, whether we like it or not. My curiosity was piqued because I could see Hands for Charity circulating, and I wondered, about this money. And so I started going down the research hole, if you will, and connecting the dots between the Muslim Association of Canada, speakers who spoke in Ottawa, who are with the Muslim Association of Canada, which if people don't know, it's the largest Islamic association in the country. And I started looking into the CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, had done a very extensive investigation, 115-page report on this charity and on its associations with terrorism and with dodgy real estate investments. And that brought me to more of these events and starting to get to know some of the main players in Montreal for Palestine.
I currently have an unwanted man yelling in my face.
Unwanted. You're in our protest. You're unwanted here.
He is.
Here we are. See?
Very close to me.
Here we are. Cheers. Here we are. So I'm here to educate you because you came to the protest, so it's on me to educate you, right? No. So let me educate you. If I'm here to educate you, you can put this phone on my face anyway. So when there is an occupation, no matter what the occupied do, whether it is a crime or not, right? It cannot be equated to the occupier because the occupier is the one.
So do you agree with what happened on October 7th?
What happened on October 7th is there an occupied people that went out.
It was a massacre. Did you agree with that?
I don't have to say whether I agree or don't with what the occupied people do. This is my country.
I can walk around.
I can walk around too, so I can
exactly,
talk.
But I
you
don't
came
have
to our
engage
protest.
in
No,
because
look, if you are not wanted here and you still came, I'm not going to tell you to leave. I'm going to come to educate you, and that's what I'm doing.
I don't even know who I am. It's strange.
You're talking about us on Twitter all the time. You're obsessed with me.
In your own experience, because you have been on the street, and I want to hear from you, what did you uncover?
Well, there's a lot of hostility towards people who are telling the truth. Once the primary players of Montreal for Palestine discovered who I was because of my profile on X, they began to confront me at their pro-terrorist rallies. So this culminated on October 7th by being surrounded and swarmed by them. Mahmoud Khalil, who at that time was kind of one of the spokesmen of Montreal for Palestine, found me at the Place des Arts demonstration. I had been instructed by the police to go onto the balcony for my own safety because I had complained several times to the police that I was being physically assaulted and pushed around, hit with a flag. 3 separate incidents. And so one police officer suggested that it would be safer if I went to the balcony. So I followed that advice. I spoke with private security guard from Place des Arts, explained that I was uncomfortable because my cameraman was unavailable that day. He got sick, unfortunately, so I was alone. And I wasn't able to watch, all angles. So he said he'd keep an eye out.
Right. Yes, you can express yourself. There's no problem about that. We just don't want any conflict between
I'm not making conflict with anybody.
If you're expressing different opinion, keep a safe distance from each other.
I am, but they're aggressive and they come up and they hit me with their flags. I'm a middle-aged woman with a child.
If their flags are touching you, it's because you're too close. Telling you, our job right now is to make sure that the protest is going well and that we have no incident in the protest.
Yeah.
If you want to report something, show up to the police station on Barry Street or on St. Catherine West.
So you don't want to do your job, or like you don't want to tell someone not to touch me?
I want to do my job, madam.
And if someone is touching me and it's unwanted,
you want to write a statement right now?
Against some little kid? No, I'm just going to publish him online, and that'll be that.
Initially, when Mahmoud Khalil came to confront me, I could see out of my peripheral that there were some police. And then as this diatribe this man screaming in my face continued for 15 minutes. At a certain point, I looked over and the police were no longer there. So this in all probably lasted about 20 minutes. And it got to the point where Mahmoud Khalil was hitting me, stepping on my foot, trying to knock my phone out of my hand. I was trying to get it on camera, but it's very difficult to record when someone's in your face. And I could see that I was being encircled by Montreal for Palestine activists. I saw Bara Abu Hamid, who I knew had assault charges, staring at me. There was another one on this side. And I was being pressed up against glass, and there was a big drop. So I began to feel very uncomfortable. I'm a calm person, but I didn't like being alone with these radicals who were manhandling me. So I was worried that they would hit my camera, my phone out of my hand. So I just kind of hunched down.
Natasha, would you?
Don't touch me.
I'm not
But
touching
they
you.
have underestimated the will and the determination
Don't drop your phone, Natasha. Don't drop your
of
phone.
the Palestinian.
Watch out. Do not drop your phone. Do not drop your phone. Watch out. Answer the question. I didn't touch you, I touched your phone.
Do not touch
I touched your phone.
phone.
Why?
Do not touch me.
Leave. I can get the police to get you out, you know that, right?
Yeah, get the
But I
police.
wouldn't do that, because it's more fun to just sit here and bug you, and you can sit here all you want. I will stay here. Your phone is glittery, I like it.
Yeah.
I like
you
it.
like sparkly things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you. A little sparkle. Little sparkle.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, don't walk away from my face and stop moving.
Do not touch me.
Stop moving. What are you gonna do about it? Are you threatening me?
I will
Are you threatening me?
place assault charges on you.
I'm not assaulting you.
And touching is an assault.
I'm not
on a
touching
physical
you.
person. You just
I'm not touching you.
Don't touch me again.
Don't touch me, you.
You just touch me again.
Move your hand, you touch me. Don't touch me. I will press assault charges on you.
The dignity
I will press assault charges on you. Be careful, don't touch me. Do not touch me.
and of Canadians and Quebecers.
And I tried to escape to get out, Place des Arts towards the main area, but they covered me in, they closed me in. And so then I was scanning for the security guards who were on the other side. I saw them. I was not able to get their attention. I was swarmed. They put stickers on me. I was trying to think of what to do because I couldn't get down the stairs, and below there were hundreds, maybe 1,000, I don't know, of hostile agitators anyway. So I called 911, but they were using noisemakers and deafening me. I couldn't communicate easily. I could barely hear the operator. I think she located me in the end, told me to press something, or I don't know how exactly it works. I asked her to send the police. And then I was able to make my way over through the swarm to the security guards. They didn't really comprehend what was going on. I got sucked back into the swarm. And then at a certain point, I just felt myself being pulled out of this crowd of hostile agitators. And he was like a football player. He was big, and he basically covered me. He ripped the stickers off that they had stuck on my back. And the other one pushed these hostile men away from me, and they protected me and brought me into the basement at Place des Arts. And then I filed a police report, and I have not heard anything from the police since.
Not only you have been attacked physically, but you are also the target with other accounts online trying to shut you down and to silence and to ban your account. Can you explain a little bit?
There are people who are with Montreal for Palestine who are very much aware of marketing, and they're engineers, these types of people who are working for this organization like Mahmoud Khalil. And they call, in particular, André Jadheli has spearheaded campaigns against reporters and against people who are doing work to publicize this information. I am one of the accounts. Leviathan is another. I believe you are one. And what they do with their mass reporting schemes is it operates oftentimes through Instagram, not through X. That's how they get people. They have that crowd. And they use AI to create fake accounts, and then they mass report people. So what happens is that your account gets flagged. Sometimes they mass report certain posts to try to get the visibility reduced or to try to get the account suspended. Once people have a certain amount of strikes, then they lose their account. or the post, they might force somebody to take a post down. And I, fortunately, have never lost an appeal, but other people haven't been so lucky. Rather, it is very difficult to connect with an actual person on X. So you're dealing with, appeals systems that are looking for keywords that don't always work. So I have never lost an appeal because I don't publish anything dehumanizing or hateful. Everything that I do is factual and based on publicly available information and my own reporting. But they are targeting people. And so that needs to be addressed. And I think it's really important that the information gets out to Canadians. So it's not a minor little squabble online e-drama. Like this is how the information is disseminating. It's a public square now. X is a public square for reporting.
In your own opinion, we spoke about multiple times Montreal for Palestine. We know that Abu Ahmed, Iyad Abu Ahmed, and Mahmoud Khalil are related to that account, that movement, that organization. We know that recently Samidun was listed as a terrorist organization. Do you think Montreal for Palestine should be listed also?
Well, I don't know exactly what the legal criteria are, but I think that if you believe that rape, kidnapping, sexual torture, taking babies out of their homes, keeping them in caves, if you call that resistance and think that that's legitimate, that's terrorism. It can't be more black and white. If you're calling for jihad on Canadian soil, that is terrorism. So at what point will the government act? The police force is infiltrated. They don't care about the assault of Canadian women on the streets by foreigners. They don't care about the assault of reporters. They don't care about threats. I had someone on X write to me and tell me he was going to chop me into pieces. There's no concern about this going on. But not only should Montreal for Palestine be designated as a terrorist organization and Samidun, but the Muslim Brotherhood is not a designated terrorist organization in Canada. Yet all over the Arabian Peninsula, they understand that they're terrorists. In Canada, there's a workaround and there's a pipeline of the money that is funding terrorist organizations because they're not all designated terrorist organizations. So people are allowed to make their donations, which are legal, and it travels to foreign war zones and props up terrorism. It's absolutely appalling what's going on. We're not dealing with cute little innocent people. They're strategic. They know exactly what they're doing, and they are doing well in terms of marketing and publishing their lies. The politicians, Valérie Plante, you can't even get me started. The interview won't end if I start ranting about her. She cares more about bike lanes than she does about women being safe on the streets. She doesn't care about drug addicts around kids. She doesn't care about these fanatics who are all over the place. François Legault has at least come out and said that he's going to ban public prayer, but that persecutes Christians. Why are we persecuting Christians? Why are we persecuting Jews? They're not the problem. It's not a person walking with a cross who is, trying to teach people about tolerance and love. There is a foreign infiltration. It's at every level of government. It's at municipal. It is at provincial. And it's at the federal level, and we're seeing it play out in real time. And Canadians need to wake up. This isn't just a, freedom of speech, typical, an anti-war push. It is a calculated campaign to dehumanize Jews and to push a radical agenda and make it socially acceptable to push Islamism in Canada. That's what's going on. And follow the money, follow the funding of all of this.
At Rebel News, we have a petition. Right now, it's the time to go and sign deporthamas.com. If you believe that people who are here in Canada protesting in our street, glorifying terrorist organization, and they are here under a visa, student visa, tourist visa, or any kind of visa, but they are not citizen from Canada, They should be deported. Go and sign our petition at deporthamas.com.